Come on.
It was supposed to be the tour of the century, 36 dates, one final year. The greatest of all time, John Cena, calling his shot and walking off into the sunset on his own terms. When he announced it at Money in the Bank 2024, the wrestling world felt a collective shiver of anticipation. We were promised a celebration. We were promised closure. Instead, looking back from January 2026, what we got was a tragedy of creative malpractice. To understand why this hurts so much, you have to understand what was at stake. John Cena wasn't just a wrestler. By 2025, he was the industry's moral compass, the man who stood in the fire for 20 years, the man who granted 650 wishes, the never give up guy. We didn't need him to win every match, but we needed his end to matter. We needed it to respect the investment we had all made in his legend. The warning signs were there in January. The Royal Rumble. Cena entered at number 23. The roof blew off the stadium, and the narrative was right there on a silver platter. Cena wins, challenges for number 17 at WrestleMania, breaks Ric Flair's record, and leaves as the undisputed king. It's the story writing itself. But WWE, in their obsession with subverting expectations, had him tossed out by Jey Uso. Look, I like Jey, but in what universe does Jey Uso winning the 2025 Rumble over a retiring John Cena make sense? It was the first miss, the first moment we realized WWE wasn't treating this as a farewell, but as just another year. Then came the heel turn, Elimination Chamber 2025, the moment that broke the internet for about 48 hours before we all realized how cynical it was. Cena aligns with The Rock and, inexplicably, Travis Scott. Yes, the rapper. It felt like a desperate grab for TikTok engagement rather than a wrestling storyline. They turned the ultimate hero into a corporate sellout, a final boss lackey, and it worked, sort of. At WrestleMania 41, heel Cena won his record-breaking 17th World Championship. The dream is finally achieved, except it felt hollow because he achieved it as a villain, spitting on the legacy of hustle, loyalty, and respect. The crowd didn't know whether to cheer the accomplishment or boo the man. WWE had successfully made John Cena's crowning achievement feel like a funeral, but here's where it gets worse. The heel faction immediately fell apart. The Rock disappeared to film a movie. Travis Scott stuck around just long enough to legitimately injure Cody Rhodes, busting his eardrum, blackening his eye before vanishing into the night, and Cena was left holding the championship belt and the bag, playing a villain to a crowd that just wanted to cheer him one last time. By SummerSlam, they panicked. Cena dropped the title to Cody Rhodes and turned babyface again with virtually no explanation, redemption, or an apology. Just, he's a good guy now, okay? WWE, realizing they'd bungled the emotional core of the farewell, threw Cena a bone. The Intercontinental Championship in November 2025, his first IC title, Triple Crown, Grand Slam champion. On paper, it's a beautiful career capstone. In practice, it felt like hush money. Sorry we wasted half your retirement tour on a heel turn storyline with a rapper who injured our top star. Here's a mid-card title as an apology. The achievement deserved to be a celebration. Instead, it felt like damage control, but the creative incompetence turned into something worse, historical revisionism. We need to talk about WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, a rematch nobody asked for, and while it wasn't the 5-minute squash some feared, it might as well have been. Cena hit 3 attitude adjustments, his finishing move, the move that put away The Rock, that beat Edge, that conquered a generation, and Brock kicked out of every single one like they were jab. The message was clear: your hero's offense is meaningless. Lesnar won, dominant as ever, and Cena was left lying in the ring staring at the lights. Why? To build Brock. Brock Lesnar doesn't need building. To humble Cena, he's retiring. All it did was remind us that WWE sees their legends not as icons to be celebrated, but as kindling to burn for the next spectacle. However, the moment that will stain Triple H's booking legacy forever happened in Washington, D.C. in John Cena's final match. On paper, it worked. The ring general versus the franchise. The man who protects the sport versus the man who defines it. The build was electric. The atmosphere was molten, and then the finish happened. John Cena spent 23 years telling us to never give up. It was more than a catchphrase on a t-shirt. It was a philosophy that helped kids fight cancer and adults fight depression. It was the core of his existence. Passed out to Rusev, he passed out to Brock. He never quit. And in his final moment with the camera zoomed in, John Cena tapped out. He tapped. The crowd didn't just boo. They chanted, "You fucked up" at Creative. They chanted AEW. They booed Triple H when his face appeared on the screen. They weren't angry at Gunther. They were angry that the fundamental truth of John Cena was violated for a moment. You don't have Superman renounce truth and justice in the final issue. You don't have John Cena tap out. It didn't make Gunther look like a monster. It made the last 20 years feel like a lie. Did beating Cena help Austin Theory in 2023? Number. Did beating Cena help Solo Sikoa in 2023? No. And will making Cena tap out help Gunther? Maybe. But at what cost? WWE forgot the most important rule of a retirement tour. It's not about the company. It's not about the future. It's not about viral moments or TikTok clips or subverting expectations. Just for once, it's supposed to be about the man who gave you everything. They had 36 dates to say thank you. Instead, they spent 36 dates asking, what else can we take from you? John Cena deserved a Viking funeral. WWE gave him a garage sale, and that is a failure we will never be able to forgive.